According to one columnist, here are the top 10 resolutions. Number 1, spend more time with family and friends. More than 50% of Americans vow to appreciate loved ones and spend more time with family and friends this year. Number 2, exercise regularly, get healthy. Number 3, lose weight. Because what better time to lose weight than the new year? According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, 7 in 10 Americans are obese or overweight. But only 36% think they have a weight problem. In other words, close to half the people who are overweight or obese don't know that they're overweight or obese. Now, I don't suggest you tell them, but that's our problem. Number 4, quit smoking. On average, it takes a smoker 4 attempts before they actually quit. Bob Ross is an ex-smoker at our Hot Springs Village campus. Bob smoked 2.5 packs a day from age 14 to age 32. Then in January of 1981, he put his cigarettes down and walked away. They computed it this week. Since then, Bob has saved $108,000 by not smoking. That's a pretty good incentive, isn't it? Number 5, enjoy life more, have less stress, more fun, less work, lower blood pressure, no more type A. Number 6, quit drinking. The habit's dangerous, deadly, expensive. Number 7, get out of debt, spend less, save more, pay off credit cards. Number 8, learn something new, a new job, new skill, new hobby. Number 9, help others. Work with a charity, find a new ministry, use your abilities to make the difference. Number 10, get organized. Clean out the closet, the junk drawer, or the garage. Maybe use a calendar or manage your time better. One or more of those 10 probably will make it on your list for 2018. Then if you're a follower of Jesus, you may include others like pray more, read the Bible, get closer to God, give more money to God, get involved in ministry. All those, the top 10 and the goals for a believer are good goals. I am all for losing weight, stopping drinking, getting organized, less stress, praying more, and getting closer to God. Those are wonderful goals. But all too often, here's what happens. You resolve to lose weight. This is it. This is the year. But Aunt Martha gave you the year in chocolate for Christmas. Different chocolate sensation delivered to your door every month. January 10, the first shipment arrives. A dozen chocolate cupcakes. Now, you can't disappoint Aunt Martha. And what's a few cupcakes? You're on a diet. You didn't sign up for torture. I mean, you don't want to deprive yourself. So you eat a cupcake or 12, and it's over. Another year, same old you. You resolve to exercise more, but when you wake up Monday, it's record cold outside, and it can't be healthy to walk in the cold, can it? Every January, the health club is packed with people attacking the machines. Every class is full. You have to wait for a treadmill. But each week, the crowd gets smaller, and by mid-February, the New Year's resolution crowd is gone until the next January. Another year, same you. It's funny, but most people don't cancel their health club membership because that feels like admitting failure. So even though they don't go, they keep paying for it. And the health club calls those people donors. You resolve to quit smoking or drinking. That's a wonderful goal. But the year starts with a lot of stress. Before you know it, your resolution's gone and your habits back stronger than ever. Another year, same you. You're going to get organized and manage your time, and then the year starts, and who knew being organized took so much time? How in the world can people do this and still get their work done? Your plan lasts a week or two, and then you go back to your old method, pile management. Stacks up in your closet, on your desk, in your garage. New year, same you. You resolve to pray more and get closer to God. You're not just going to be a Sunday morning Christian. You want more. You say, this year I'm serious. I'm going to get involved in ministry. I'm going to be there Sunday nights, even Wednesday nights. I'm getting up every morning to pray. I'll be closer to God. But your busy schedule and packed priorities quickly edge out God and the church. New year, same you. And maybe you say, well, Rod, that's it. You've described me perfectly. I've gone the New Year's resolution route, and it lasts about 2 weeks. I set goals, but I don't follow through. I have good intentions, but I can't seem to stay with them. All the things I want to do, I end up not doing, and all the things I don't want to do, I do. Well, why is that? Why can't you change? What is it that keeps you from moving forward and growing and becoming that new person? Why is it another year and the same you? Well, the struggle's not new. Like everything else we face, the Bible has some answers. Paul wrote about the same challenge in Romans chapter 7. I want to read it from the Message. Paul said, what I don't understand about myself is that I decide one way, like a resolution, but then I act another, doing things I absolutely despise. So if I can't be trusted to figure out what's best for myself and then do it, it becomes obvious God's command is necessary, but I need something more. For if I know the law but can't keep it, and if the power of sin within me keeps sabotaging my best intentions, I obviously need help. I realize I don't have what it takes. I can will it, but can't do it. I decide to do good, but don't really do it. I decide not to do bad, but then do it anyway. My decisions, such as they are, don't result in actions. Sound familiar? Something's gone wrong deep within me. It gets the better of me every time. It happens so regular, it's predictable. The moment I decide to do good, sin is there to trip me up. I truly delight in God's commands, but it's pretty obvious that not all of me joins in that delight. Parts of me covertly rebel, and just when I least expect it, they take charge. I've tried everything, and nothing helps. I'm at the end of my rope. Is there no one who can do anything for me? Paul asks the question, is there any hope? Can anyone help me? And then he answers the question and says the answer, thank God, is that Jesus Christ can and does. He acted to set things right in this life of contradictions where I want to serve God with all my heart and mind, but I'm pulled by the influence of sin to do something totally different. With the arrival of Jesus Messiah, that fateful dilemma is resolved. Those who enter into Christ's being here for us no longer have to live under a continuous, low-lying black cloud. Instead, a new power is in operation. When you say, I want to do what's right, but I don't, welcome to the human race. You often do things that you know are wrong for you, bad for you, or harmful. Even though you know the right thing, you don't do it. You delay, you procrastinate, you avoid it. That's called your sin nature. And that's what Jesus came and died on the cross to deal with. And with God's help, change is possible. I say that, but you have a lot of excuses why you don't grow, why you don't change, why you don't follow through. The Bible says in Proverbs 22:13, the lazy person is full of excuses. Isn't that encouraging? So I want to look with you at the top excuses. So I'm going to help you because you're going to make these excuses in the next 2 weeks. And when you do, I'm already going to give you God's answer. Ready? Here's the first one. I'll start tomorrow. Some of you already have a plan. You're going to pig out now so you can start your diet in 2 days. A couple years ago, I got this email from one of our leaders. Right at the end of the year, he said, in preparation for tomorrow, we went grocery shopping as a family. We loaded our cart full of fresh fruits and veggies and all sorts of healthy foods. Then we went to Wendy's, where I ordered a double cheeseburger combo meal and a chicken sandwich. I ate all of the combo meal, all of the chicken sandwich, and part of my daughter's Frosty. I think I got it out of my system. I'm not sure I'll want to eat for another year. Now that doesn't make sense, does it? It's a good goal. It's a good plan. I think I'll start tomorrow. The problem is, for many people, tomorrow never comes. God's answer to I'll start tomorrow is 3 words that will change your life. Do it now. And I believe Pastor Brad wrote a song to help you remember this.
Don't leave things unfinished. Get to them at once. That's all I've got on that one so far.
That's what you like. Ecclesiastes 11:4 says, if you wait for perfect conditions, you'll never get anything done. There will never be a perfect time to start on that change. Do it now. Don't wait to start. And you say, well, I can't do it now, but when things settle down, I'm going to start a daily quiet time. I'm going to read my Bible every day. You're never going to do it. Learn to read your Bible when things are unsettled. When things are settled down, I'm going to spend more time with my kids. That won't happen till they're grown and gone. That's when things settle down because they cause the unsettledness. When things settle down, I'm going to reestablish the connection with my spouse and we're going to work on our marriage. If you wait until things settle down, you won't have a marriage to work on. Well, when things settle down, I'll be serious about losing weight. If you wait until things settle down, you'll eat yourself to death. When things settle down, I'll quit smoking. I'll quit drinking. I've got news for you. Things aren't going to settle down. That's life. Start now. Stop waiting for the perfect day. You get mad at your kids when they procrastinate on their homework. Quit doing the same thing with your life. If you need to do something, start right now. Start today. Don't wait till Monday. Start now. Don't wait until you have time. Start now. Here's the next excuse. Well, I don't have time. I'm busy. I don't know how other people find the time to exercise every day. I've got too much going. I don't have time to be organized. I don't have time to join a connection class or get involved in ministry. I'm busy. That will all have to wait until I have time. God's answer to I don't have time is make time. Set aside time every day. Don't expect it to happen automatically. Make a plan. You say, that's not in the Bible. Yes, it is. Proverbs 21:5. The plans of the diligent lead to profit as surely as haste leads to poverty. Do not those who plot evil go astray, but those who plan what's good find love and faithfulness. Here's the principle. Your plans reveal your priorities. If something matters, you'll make time for it. When someone tells me, I didn't get it done because I didn't have time, my answer is always the same. Did you eat? Did you sleep? Did you watch TV? If you did any of those, don't tell me you didn't have time. You had time, you just had a different priority. As you can imagine, people don't tell me I don't have time very often. Set aside time for God every day. Set aside time for your family. Set aside time to get healthy. Plan for it. Let me tell you, suddenly you'll have time when the doctor tells you if you don't, you'll die. You'll never have time till you make time. Growth is not accidental, it's intentional. It's about desire, not intelligence or ability. You will only grow and change if you plan to grow and change. Next excuse, I can't do it by myself. I'm all alone in this. I want to do it, I really do, but I just can't do it by myself. God's answer to that is offer accountability. Proverbs 21, as iron sharpens iron, one man sharpens another. You can't do it by yourself? Of course. Don't try to do it by yourself. Ask for help. It helps to have someone who you know will ask you the tough questions, who will look you in the eye and say, did you drink today? Did you eat healthy this week? Did you view pornography? Did you work out? Did you spend time with your family? People don't offer accountability because they're not really committed to change, to become new. A plan without accountability isn't a plan, it's a dream. It's not going to happen. Now, let me give you one warning. The only kind of person you should be accountable to is a growing person. If you're accountable to a lazy person, you'll just become more lazy. A great place for accountability is Celebrate Recovery. It's a great place for it. And you say, well, Pastor Rod, you just keep drilling that, talk about it all the time. It's because you need it. The first regular meeting of this year is Tuesday night. But you can start New Year's Eve at 7 o'clock for dinner, large group meeting at 8. It's chip night. It's going to be a great night. By the way, we call it Celebrate Recovery, not Celebrate Mediocrity. Because you're not going to stay the same. You're going to grow and you're going to change. Spend time with growing people. I'm convinced, outside of a personal relationship with Jesus, the most important decision you make is your friends, who you spend time with. Psalms 1:1 says, happy are those who don't listen to the wicked, who don't go where sinners go, and don't do what evil people do. They love the Lord's teachings, and they think about those teachings day and night. They are strong like a tree planted by a river. The tree produces fruit in season, and its leaves don't die. Everything they do will succeed. That's pretty good advice. Don't listen to the wicked. Don't go where sinners go. Don't do what evil people do. Spend time with growing people. Still not convinced? 2 Peter chapter 3. Dear friends, since you already know this, be careful. Don't let those evil people lead you away by the wrong they do. Be careful so you won't fall from your strong faith. Be careful. Spend time with the right people. The number one reason people leave relationship with God in the church is because they develop relationships with the wrong kind of people. Next excuse, I don't want to fail. I've tried before and failed. I've tried to quit smoking. I've tried to quit drinking. I've tried to lose weight. I've tried to be faithful and I failed. What if I fail again? What will people think? I'm not going to try because I don't want to fail. And the possibility of failing can make you afraid of being embarrassed in front of other people. So to keep safe from failure, you just don't try. Let me take the pressure off. No one's perfect. You're going to have setbacks. You're going to have problems. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to have defeats and losses. You will fail. Failure's not falling down. Failure is staying down. Proverbs 24:16 says, though a righteous man falls 7 times, he rises again. You only fail if you don't try again. And here's our commitment. We will love you through the failure, and we will help you get back on track. We won't quit on you when you fail, because Jesus doesn't quit on you when you fail. God's answer to I don't want to fail is keep going. Proverbs 24:10 says, if you give up when trouble comes, it shows that you're weak. Fight the fear of failure with faith. Faith is not the absence of fear. Faith is moving forward in spite of your fear, confident in your God. Trust in the Lord. Keep going. Next excuse, I don't want to change. Average American born in the 90s will hold 8 different jobs and live in 30 different homes in their lifetime. We live in a world of continual change. And people struggle with change. And inevitably somebody says, well, not me. I don't ever resist change. If you think you like change, try this simple test. Next time you sit down to dinner with your family, if you still sit down for dinner, let someone else sit in your seat. We're creatures of habits. Hey, you sit in the same seat every week at church. It doesn't matter how many times I ask you to sit down front. You're not going to, because that's not your seat. And I don't like the change. This week, Nick and I were in here in the sanctuary. I said, you know what we ought to do one week? Let's just take all the chairs out of the back sections and see what happens. I'm convinced you'd sit on the floor. Change isn't easy. It's difficult to change habits that are developed over the course of time. It's difficult to accept a new thing when you've always done it that way. But growth requires change. You can't become the new you unless you're willing to change the old you. You can't grow without changing. To which you say, well, I want to grow, but I don't want to change my schedule. I don't want to change my friends. I don't want to change my priorities. I don't want to live without chocolate. I don't want to deprive myself. I don't want to change. God's answer to I don't want to change is get out of your comfort zone. When you were a kid, did you ever have growing pains? Man, I remember laying awake at night with horrible cramps in my legs. My mom would rub them and give me Tylenol and try to distract me. Nothing helped the growing pains. And I still remember one night I was so frustrated with the pain. I just looked at my mom. I said, I'm sick of this. I don't want to grow anymore. Ever feel like that? The pain of moving outside your comfort zone can be so real that you decide just not to grow. It's easier not to change. It's easier to stay the same. It's easier to stick in your comfort zone. It takes no discipline to stay the same. Growth occurs on the other side. And the call of God will always take you out of your comfort zone. God leads you out of the familiar, out of what you know, because when you get outside your comfort zone, you're put in a place where you learn to rely on His power and on His strength. David was a shepherd. God made him a king. Moses was a stutterer with a bad temper. God called him to lead a nation out of bondage. Joshua was a follower, and God assigned him with the task of leading His people into the promised land. Peter, James, and John were fishermen. God called them to leave their boats and their nets behind and to become the first full-time followers of Jesus. Saul was a Christian killer, and God called him to be a missionary. God's call on their life required radical change. It moved them out of the known and into the unknown. In order to embrace God's plan, they had to step out in faith and move outside their comfort zone. And here's what I never find in the Bible. I can't find it in one place, and I've looked. Never find a place where God spoke to someone and said, hey, I really enjoy everything you're doing right now. I don't have anything new planned for you because you're doing so wonderful. Keep up the good work. You're a winner. Check in with me sometime. That's not God. God constantly calls you to more. I don't know what your goals are. I do know this. If you have any kind of goal at all, if you truly want to be a new you in this new year instead of the same you, it's going to require change. Got time for one more excuse? It's too difficult. I didn't plan on the pain. I didn't expect it to require this much discipline. It's hard. God's answer to it's too difficult is, trust me. Back to Paul's words, Romans 8. Those who think they can do it on their own end up obsessed with measuring their own moral muscle, but never get around to exercising it in real life. Those who trust God's actions in them find that God's Spirit is in them, living and breathing God. Obsession with self in these matters is a dead end. Attention to God leads us out into the open, into a spacious, free life. Focusing on the self is the opposite of focusing on God. Anyone completely absorbed in self ignores God, ends up thinking more about self than God. That person ignores who God is and what He's doing. And God isn't pleased at being ignored. But if God Himself has taken up residence in your life, you can hardly be thinking more of yourself than Him. Anyone, of course, who's not welcomed this invisible but clearly present God, the Spirit of Christ, doesn't know what we're talking about. But for you who welcome Him, in whom He dwells, Even though you still experience the limitations of sin, you yourself experience life on God's terms. It stands to reason that if the alive and present God who raised Jesus from the dead moves into your life, he'll do the same thing in you he did in Jesus, bring you alive to himself. When God lives and breathes in you, and he does as surely as he did in Jesus, you're delivered from that dead life. With his Spirit living in you, your body will be as alive as Christ. So don't you see, you don't owe this old do-it-yourself life one red cent. There's nothing in it for us, nothing at all. The best thing is, give it a decent burial and get on with your new life. God's Spirit beckons. There are things to do and places to go. God has a plan for you. God knows you can't do it by yourself. And so God says, don't even try to do it alone. Trust me. It is too difficult for you, but you're not alone. God is on your side. Last one. I've tried it before. Pastor Rod, I'm not doing it because I've tried before. Here's God's answer. New you. New you. Forget about what's happened before. God says, don't think about the past. It's over. Don't dwell on it. The book's closed. Let's go. Let's move. You say, that's not in the Bible. Yes, it is. Isaiah 43:18. Forget the former things. Do not dwell on the past. See, I am doing read that with me, new thing. Now it springs up. Don't you perceive it? See, some of you think God's fixated on your past, that he wants to remind you of everything you've done wrong, and that because of that, you can never move forward. You're wrong. God is way more interested in your future than in your past. God says, forget about the past. Forget about the former things. Don't think about it. Let's look at the new thing I'm going to do. Some of you need to have a funeral service for 2017. You need, if you still have a calendar, go dig a hole in the ground and bury it in the ground. And say, God, I'm going to bury the mistakes and the failures of the past right here because I believe you have a new thing for me. And I'm going to move forward into the new thing. God says, don't think about that stuff. I got a plan for you. I can't wait to show you what's ahead. Start now. Make time every day. Offer accountability. Don't quit. Keep going. Get out of your comfort zone. And then trust that God's going to do a new thing in you. I can promise you, his plan for 2018 for you is he wants to do something new in your life, and new in your spirit, and new in your marriage, and new in your heart, and new in your family.